Okay, so you know how it is. Perfect evening. You're finally relaxing outside, maybe on the patio.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear it, that buzz. Mosquitoes. Ugh, they could wreck a good time, can't they?
Oh, absolutely. The absolute worst.
But like, what if you could just push a button and have this bubble of protection? No sprays, no smoke.
That's kind of the dream, right? That's the promise.
Well, today we're really digging into whether that dream holds up with Thermacell E-Series Rechargeable Mosquito Repeller.
Yeah, and for this deep dive, we've gathered quite a bit. We looked at Thermacell's own descriptions, the technical stuff, obviously.
Right.
But I think more importantly, we dove into, well, a ton of customer reviews from a big online retailer. We're talking like over 23,000 ratings globally.
23,000. Wow.
Yeah, so we get a really broad picture of what people are actually experiencing day to day.
Okay, so our mission here is pretty straightforward then. We want to unpack what this thing says it does, how it's supposed to work, and then square that with what actual users found. Is it effective? Is it easy? What's the real value? So by the end, hopefully you'll know if this E-Series is maybe the answer you've been looking for.
Exactly. Let's figure it out.
So first off, that main claim. A 20-foot zone of mosquito protection, that's a decent area.
It is.
And the big selling points are no spray, no flames, no strong smells. It's this little rechargeable box you can take out to the yard, the patio, poolside. How does it actually do that?
Well, it uses what Thermacell calls its proprietary formula. Now, this is often based on synthetic versions of natural repellents, pyrethroids.
Okay.
And the device heats it up just slightly, diffuses it into the air. It's meant to actively repel mosquitoes, and they specifically mention the types that can carry things like West Nile, Zika, encephalitis.
Serious stuff.
Yeah. And it's worth noting, this isn't just marketing hype. The system's been independently tested. It's also EPA reviewed for safety and effectiveness.
Ah, EPA reviewed. That's good.
Right. And Thermacell says it's fine for people and pets, when you use it according to the instructions on the label.
Gotcha. And practically speaking, like what comes in the box, say for the E65 model?
Okay. So the E65, you typically get the device itself, a repellent refill that's supposed to last 36 hours.
36 hours, okay.
A fast charging dock, which is nice, and a USB-C cable. And they say it gets up to maximum protection pretty quickly, like within 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay. That's faster than waiting for a candle to melt or something.
Oh.
Now, setting it up sounds easy enough on paper. Charge, insert, turn on. Was that the reality for users? What were those first impressions like?
Yeah, largely positive on that front. Many users said the instructions were clear, setup was fast. We saw super easy to set up and ease of use come up quite a bit.
That's good to hear. Simple is always better.
Definitely. For the initial part, anyway.
Okay, you mentioned charging. What are the actual charge times? Does that vary much?
It does. The E65 you mentioned, that one's pretty quick. About 2 hours for a full charge, thanks to that dock.
2 hours. Not bad.
But if you go for the E55 or the EX55 models, you're looking at more like 5 to 6 hours. So quite a difference there.
5 or 6 hours. That requires a bit more planning.
Yeah, you got to remember to plug it in well ahead of time.
And what about taking it places? Is it genuinely portable? Can you, fly with it?
Seems so. It's small, it's light. And Thermacell does state it's allowed on airplanes. The usual FAA advice applies, though lithium-ion batteries should be in your carry-on.
Right. Standard procedure for batteries. Good to know.
Okay, let's get into the meat of it, the customer feedback. What did those 23,000 plus ratings actually say? Overall, it lands at a 4.0 out of 5 stars.
4.0. Okay, so solid, but not perfect. Generally positive, but you said mixed earlier?
Definitely mixed, yeah. That 4.0 hides a pretty wide range of opinions.
So what separated the 5-star raves from the 1-star rants? Let's start with the good stuff. What did people love?
Well, when it worked for people, it really worked. Lots of users reported, excellent effectiveness. They could finally eat dinner outside, play cards, watch fireworks without being eaten alive.
The dream scenario.
Exactly. People mentioned having young kids out there comfortably, and that scent-free, silent operation, that was a huge plus for many. No smoke, no chemical smells, no annoying zapping sounds.
Yeah, I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
Just peace and quiet. And no mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So for those users, it really did deliver on that protective bubble idea.
It seems like it did for a good chunk of them, yes.
But then you have the other side, the people saying doesn't work. What was going on there? Was it just defective units or?
Well, some might have been defective, sure. But a really common theme among the negative reviews was wind.
Ah, wind. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. While many found it effective in calm conditions, quite a few reported that even a slight breeze seems to just blow that repellent away, completely negating the 20-foot zone.
So that protective bubble graphic they show might be a bit optimistic if it's windy.
Potentially misleading is how some users put it, yes, especially here in a really open area. People who used it on, say, a porch with walls seem to have better luck because the structure blocks some wind.
Okay, so location and conditions matter
Mm.
a lot. That 20-foot claim is very much an ideal scenario, maybe.
It seems that way based on the feedback, yeah. It's not a guarantee in a breeze.
What about the battery? You mentioned different charge times, but how long did it actually last for people?
Again, really mixed. Some users were happy, reporting they got, 10, maybe even 12 hours out of a charge cycle, which is great.
10 to 12, yeah, that's solid.
But then you have others saying quite strongly that it does not hold a charge longer than 2 hours, or just generally wishing it lasted longer than advertised.
Wow, 2 hours versus 12. That's a massive difference.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like people are reviewing two completely different devices.
It does raise questions, doesn't it? Maybe quality control issues, maybe battery degradation over time. Hard to say for sure from just reviews.
Was there anything else that really seemed to get under people's skin? A recurring complaint?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest, most consistent point of friction, the refills.
The refills. Okay, tell me about that.
Just huge numbers of complaints about the cost. People called them expensive, pricey, a waste of money, not worth the cost, over and over again. And it wasn't just the price. There were reports of cartridges arriving looking half empty.
Oh, that's not good.
No. Or sometimes even missing entirely. People getting confused about whether the repellent included initially was the refill or just a starter amount.
Right, so the device itself might seem reasonably priced.
Exactly. But then you're locked into buying these specific and apparently quite costly refills constantly. One user nailed it. They called it the classic razor and blade business model.
Ah, the old razor and blade. Sell the handle cheap, make money on the blades forever.
Precisely. And as that user pointed out, you might end up buying these refills even more often than you buy razor blades.
Yikes. Okay, so refills are a major sticking point. What about, the device itself? Did it hold up? Were the instructions okay?
Durability was, you guessed it, mixed. Some found it reliable, sturdy enough. Others said it was not long-lasting, or even arrived defective right out of the box.
More inconsistency.
Seems to be a theme. And yeah, the instructions copped some flack too. People found them confusing. Things like, how exactly do you get the little lid off the refill? What do the different charging lights actually mean? Can you use it while it's charging? Can you leave it plugged in? Apparently the manual wasn't always clear on those practical points.
So maybe not quite super easy beyond the initial turn-it-on part. There are nuances.
Looks like it. The day-to-day use, the maintenance, that's where some frustrations crept in.
Okay, so let's try and connect the dots here. What does this all mean for you listening right now, maybe thinking about getting one?
Well,
it feels like the core trade-off is pretty clear now, isn't it? You've got the undeniable convenience it is hands-free, scent-free, flame-free mosquito protection.
right. When it works for your situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Versus the ongoing cost of those refills,
Yeah.
which seems significant, and this sort of variable performance, depending on things you can't always control, like the wind.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. You really have to think about your specific space. How windy does your patio get? And how often are you realistically going to use it? Because that directly impacts how often you're buying those pricey refills. That long-term cost is crucial.
It really drives home that razor and blade point someone made. It's not just buying a gadget. It's more like signing up for a mosquito repellent subscription service almost.
That's a good way to put it, actually.
And the value of that subscription really depends on whether the service, actually works reliably in your backyard.
Precisely.
So wrapping this up, the Thermacell E-Series Rechargeable Mosquito Repeller. It definitely holds potential. It offers a very appealing, convenient solution for a lot of people fed up with mosquitoes.
It does. The idea is great.
But this deep dive into what real users are saying really underscores those crucial caveats. The economics of the refills. And that effectiveness isn't always guaranteed. It's nuanced. It depends on conditions.
Absolutely. It's not a simple buy it and forget it solution. It's an ongoing calculation.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to chew on. Given these conflicting experiences, especially around the recurring cost of refills, what's the true value you place on convenience for enjoying your outdoor space? How do you weigh that upfront purchase against those continuous, sometimes hidden costs needed to actually keep that convenience going?